Hey everybody, it's Master Yallengeist here, bringing you my review for the anime Lost Song on Netflix. And I didn't really enjoy this one. Again, it has an interesting premise of having songs, having magical powers, and things like that, and centering it on two main protagonists, one of being this little girl Rin, and one on the woman Finis, seemed interesting at first. However, this essentially became really both simplistic and complex at the same point, and not a lot of things were properly explained. You see, both of them can sing and change the world with the different songs that they can do. If you use the song of healing, you can heal people and boost morale. If you use a song related to fire, you can will fire into existence. It's really kind of weird because we see that Finis, when she uses her song abilities for certain things or overuses it to change the world, the repercussion is it shortens her lifespan. But that kind of gets thrown out the window at a certain point because reasons. It's never properly explained. So we really get to start off with Rin and seeing her doing her stuff in her village and living with her family, her grandpa telling her not to sing or all that, but they run into this guy from the capital, Henry, part of a very important noble family, and he's being chased by someone. And we find out later that it's the capital army. And funny enough, Rin wants to go to the capital and sing with the orchestra there during this special time, the Starlight Festival, because it's supposed to bring wishes and grant your wishes. So we see that going on, and we also see Finis's story going on at the same time. In the beginning, you think they're along in the same time line, but plot twist, no, it's not. Finis is actually the original songstress slash goddess of this world. She's been seeding this throughout multiple iterations because the prince during that time was an asshole and was using her as a living weapon and tricked her into killing her Henry, the one that she loved. And in her last act of defiance, she sings the Song of Destruction that essentially casts Meteor and destroys the world. However, instead of having this song consume the last of her life essence, it makes her immortal. This isn't really explained at all. At least not in the anime. It's like, why is she still alive? And so she goes through this unending horror all the time of living through all these resets, people trying to kill her because they think she's a monster, and her keep trying to have the world be destroyed because she doesn't want to be immortal. The man she loved died. She wants to be dead. And I think it would have been interesting if the story more explored that kind of despair and nihilistic outlook, because her plan is to do kind of the same thing as Rin towards the end, sing with an orchestra to bring the moon down and completely and utterly obliterate the planet, so that way she's dead. Damn. And the thing is, her story is very interesting because it keeps in that cyclical nature of all these people keep making the same kind of mistakes and over again. And that brings us to her and this general guy, General Bajra. And they're the ones kind of orchestrating what's going on in Rin's reset timeline. And she is singing and having the songs trapped into boxes so that way they have tech that can blast the power of song. And the general's only going along with her plan because he thinks that the Song of Destruction is the Song of Mortality that she's going to do is only going to destroy the one country. And he's like, ha ha ha, we'll be the most powerful country on the continent. Of course, the royal family this time around is not going around for that and doesn't like that. And that's about the extent of his villainy. He's just side fluff for this Henry to fight. And we also get this character called Pony, who is a secret princess, but her design is really weird. The art in this isn't horrible. I like Finis's look, and I like Rin's look. They work pretty well. Everything else just, I don't know what it is. It just doesn't really jive well with me. For some reason, Pony seems squished, and it's not just because of her boob corset thing. Like, her face throws me off for some reason. makes me think of a fish at certain respects, in that her mouth is elongated when she talks, and it's just really kind of strange. It's it's really weird. Certain characters are given more detail than others, and then we get random CGI that's not the worst that I've seen, but just sometimes is completely out of place. It's like, okay, whatever. But we finally get to the merging of these two. Rin is able to continue on like a vision journey and wants to help Finis deal with this. But she kind of really doesn't. We find out that Rin is essentially just birthed from the Song of Healing and Hope that Finis has thrown away in this timeline, and that created a baby. And if they sing a duet together, that'll pretty much be the end of her life. And it doesn't really go into effect of helping Finis deal with her pain or having her move on and not try and destroy the world at all. Nothing of those kind of philosophical themes or anything is really talked about or anything. It's just we get to the Starlight Festival, Finis sings the Song of Mortality, the moon is coming down to destroy the planet, and her and Rin and Finis then sing essentially accompanying duets of the Song of Healing and the Song of Mortality. And at some point, yes, the moon strikes the planet and pretty much destroys it, but because they were singing it together, it redid the planet, and everybody was alive from the last reset, and the moon is like gone. Not that that wouldn't cause giant fucking problems, but okay. And then because they did this, Rin then merges back into Finis, and eventually evidently makes her pregnant or something to be reborn. This was a really weird anime because the twist didn't really need to be there. It's almost like people trying to be like, oh, here's this twist. It really wasn't needed, and more time could have been spent dealing with the underlying pain and getting into both Rin's head and Finis's head. They should have been the main characters of this. I mean, I know they are technically the main characters, but so little is done with them that you could almost say that they were mainly just like objects here. Same with their supporting cast and everything. Very little characterization is done. So if you're looking for character development, this does not have that for you. Good battle scenes? Not even really that. I mean, they're not horrible, but they're not really the focus. Especially when Finis can essentially nuke certain armies at certain points, and it's just like, okay, now we're just going for a flashy effect, not a battle scene. So if you're looking for awesome level fights, no. Animation really didn't get me into it. Something felt plasticky maybe at certain respects. Like, I don't know, certain characters just was like, okay. I didn't care for the design or the animation. It didn't really pull me into the world. Nothing like Violet Evergarden, where it was like hyper detailed and realistic looking and was like bringing you into this world of this alternate kind of World War One. This is just, it doesn't even really pull you in. Now, using songs, I really like that premise. I just wish that the execution had been better with it and that more had been done. I kind of like that they were singing songs and that these songs had lyrics and were written out and were doing kind of special kind of incantation kind of things. I just hope that's, well, granted, since anime, a lot of, you see a premise, a lot of other anime have probably done it or done it better. I would just like to see one of the ones that have done this better. It's not complete dog crap. I don't think it's the worst anime that I've seen, but I've just gotten to a point where I see that something's got a lot of potential, and it does not execute or anything is kind of worse than something that does it badly. I even think that it does, well, it does do some things badly, like not even really fleshing out the characters and really kind of even digging into their motivations or anything. It just surface level, basic kind of hero story where it's just popcorn. You know how you, and like, that's got nothing really that much flavorful to it. Like, no butter or salt to get you excited. It's just like, oh, this is a snack. I'm eating it, It might provide me with some nutritional value, but not really. So I wouldn't recommend this if you were looking for deep characters or really trying to dive into certain kind of philosophical themes, even with the basic framework that it sets up. Not really kind of engaging action battle sequences or anything, and just doesn't really draw you into the world. This is, again, one kind of anime where if you need something to pass the time, this could do it for you. But if you've got anything better, go look at that. Go with that. Go screw that. If you need to waste time, go find another anime that you watched years ago or in your backlog. This is like a break it in case of emergency kind of like. No, it's not even really that. It's like just, go watch something else. Go watch something better. So those are my opinions on the anime. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.